that was the worst day of my life. Carol phoned me up after she got the word from the doctor. I'll never forget that day.
She was an active little kid. Mandi liked to keep busy. She was a happy-go-lucky kid. Her happiest times were on the beach or in a park or out in the snow, and then soon to be, as we discovered, out on the ice, just anywhere where she could move around and play. That's how I think she grew to be such a healthy kid and so strong physically, is because she was a girl who was on the move at a young age, and she just kept up with it, and she really enjoyed sports, and she was a competitor.
I don't know anybody that worked harder than she did. She didn't have it to the where she liked it, or was go out and work harder to make it right. So yeah, just a great player. It's easy to bring her into the conversation because that's your player right there. If you can carve a player, that's what you would carve.
They just don't recruit anybody. It's special people they recruit. The most proudest moments of my life was knowing that she was there.
We knew something was wrong that fall. When she returned to Yale in 2008, she was not feeling well a lot of the time. Something was wrong, but we couldn't, and we didn't know what it was. And we had actually visited her a couple of weeks before she was diagnosed and spent some time with her, and we knew on the ice that it wasn't quite the Mandi that we knew. Her shifts were too short, and she wasn't her usual energetic self, and she just didn't have that fight in her. She was giving it everything she got to battle that and to come out ahead.
Through her fight, she worked out. I remember seeing her in the gym, riding the bike. She'd have her little pink toque on.
No matter what she was going through, she was more worried about what I was going to have to do, how much homework I was going to have to do, and she'd rather do it for me than me have to struggle through that. And so that's just kind of how selfless she was, and always looking out for everyone else around her before she worried about herself.
The search was on for Mandi's Army to find a match for her.
So then the next step was, to raise awareness and to people and, ask for donations to that bank as much as possible just to see if something would come up.
It was something pretty special of how the whole hockey world just rallied around it. And it was neat because she was so humble and kind of why is everyone doing this for me? But it was because of her personality that everyone just kind of bought in and wanted to help her out, even though she wasn't asking for that help. Her story was just something that a lot of people could relate to, and in relating to it, they want to help out.
Never in our wildest dreams did we not think that she wouldn't find a match. Here we were, this just ordinary couple with ordinary kids, and so when that day came, it was it was like a birthday. You treated just like a newborn. It was very, very special and very meaningful. And
to get her to that point was my goal that I wanted, and we got her to that point, and then it was in God's hands after that.
Her legacy lives on through everyone she knew. Everyone she knew before she got sick, everyone she inspired after she got sick, and it just gives people optimism, right? When you look at her and what she went through and the way she went about it, and you think your perspective on life changes. You gain perspective and realize that, right, no matter how bad things can be, you gotta be grateful for what you got.
Things like bone marrow drives happening even in the States, in Regina, anytime something comes up, even donating blood, people just want to help out because they know what Mandi went through and how those things helped her, and realize that it didn't help her per se in the long run, but has the opportunity to help a lot more people along the road.
I know that she lives in a lot of people's minds, and people think of her all the time. And I mean, it was even great. She's one of the top 10 inspirational hockey players ever. I mean, who would have thought that? But that's what keeps me going. And it wasn't all for nothing. She's making a difference in people's lives.
Watching over us, I think she'd be, very proud of what everybody's accomplished, and I think it would mean the world to her to know that lives are being saved and these donations are being made in her name, and that people are living on and keeping it alive with her. I know she'd be very happy with that.